Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we'll be presenting about article review. So there are two articles that had been reviewed. First one is factors of code switching among bilingual international students in Malaysia, and the second one is code switching phenomenon in English language classrooms at the tertiary level. So for the first articles, in summary, the article was written by Paramasivam Muthusamy, Rajantaran Munyandi, Silali S. Kandasamy, Omrah Hassan Ed Hussein, Manimaran Subramaniam, and Atif Farashayan. This article was published on July 21st, 2020. So, the objective of this article is to identify the factors that can potentially affect code switching in college classroom in Malaysia. Blending. So, what is code switching? Code switching is blending two languages or phrases or terms together. It could happen at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the sentence. So it's separated into two, which are intersentential and intrasentential switching. So the aims of the study in this article are on identifying factors that might affect code switching used by bilingual international students. So the question was, what are the factors that might influence code switching among bilingual international students in college classroom in Malaysia? So in this article, there were 20 bilingual international students included in this study, 15 graduate and 5 undergraduate students. So all the participants were coming from various nationalities, including African English, Arab English, Chinese English, and Korean English. So the participants' age ranked from 19 to 31. So in the process of the data collection, they used semi-structured interviews. So all the participants were informed that the researchers would keep their names private and that the interviews would be only used for research purposes. In this article specifically, there are various reasons were stated by the participants of the factors that affect code switching. The first one is lack of competence. Second one is maintaining privacy, easier to speak in their own language, avoiding misunderstanding, not knowing the English word, filling the gap in speaking, conveying intimacy, adding emphasis, attracting attention, and lastly, pragmatic reasons. As a result, majority of the participants, 15 out of 20, describe that they do not have sufficient linguistic competence in the second language. So overall, the structure and the style of this article is very compelling. I think the purpose and the intentions of this study is achieved. The text is also well organized, it's easy to understand, and the explanation was very detailed and adequate. So the next article, titled Code Switching Phenomenon in English Language Classrooms at the Tertiary Level, it was written by Shalini Arjalan, Lubna Ali Muhammad, and Nitya Ruby Krishnasamy. It was published on January 2nd, 2019. So in this article, the study is to show how lecturers and students apply code switching in Malaysian tertiary atmosphere. So basically, language is an instrument to support social correlated between people. In addition, dialect is utilized as a medium to pass on information, ideas, and explicit messages. It could be verbal or non-verbal. In this article, the study is using a quantitative method as the research design. This approach was used to give a general overview of the code switching phenomenon and to assess the extent to which lecturers and students engage in code switching. So the study was conducted at Lincoln University College Malaysia. They not only have local Malaysians but also international students. So both local Malaysians and international students took part in the study. They were divided according to different races and genders, which included Malay, Indian, Chinese, and international. Male and female consist of 40 students. So the questionnaire that they provided starts with an introduction which they explained the topic of the research and the intention of the data collection, and sincere thanks to all of the students. So the statistics from the questionnaire were analyzed using the deductive approach. A coding system of the Likert scale was used, and also numerical values had been assigned to each code. From the study, it is showed that code switching is not a problem to students and also the lecturers to use in classroom. Most of the respondents agree and they prefer to use code switching when transferring knowledge. So in these both articles, there are some of similarities that can be found. First of all is the utilization of code switching in the classroom. Code switching is very crucial and so important, especially for students who cannot speak English very well. So code switching was found to be an excellent strategy used by the students to make their intended meaning clear and to transfer some knowledge to other students in classroom. It was also found that code switching is normally utilized by the educators to motivate their students' awareness. Moreover, code switching is utilized by students as an acting technique to adjust for their explicitness for the knowledge passed on by the lecturers. Additionally, code switching as a communal process where English and other languages are mixed in phrases is very common in these societies. In the context of Malaysia, observing the code switching is very prevalent. Changing between languages that technically explained as a code switching is a widespread phenomenon in Malaysia. In the Malaysian context, code switching is significant because speakers are very likely to speak more than one language due to the bilingual education system and multilingual communication patterns utilized in the Malaysian population. Furthermore, we found that it is correspondence in both articles that have students with different backgrounds were taking part in the study. All the participants were coming from various nationalities, including African English, Arab English, Chinese English, and Korean English, Malay, Indian, Chinese, and international students. So it is indeed, code switching is vital for students all along with lecturers in classroom, as it brings a lot of benefits and positiveness to the classroom atmosphere.
So the differences between these two articles are the study on factors of code switching among bilingual foreign students. In the first article, it only talks about where the code switching are commonly used and how the code switching can be an acting technique to adjusting their clearness on the information that their teacher passed to them. The second article is showing the definite result on factors of code switching among bilingual students in the class. This study aims to identifying the factors that can affect code switching in a college classroom, especially in Malaysia. 20 participants who were bilingual international students were taking a part on this interview. The factors that affect code switching are lack of competence 26%, preserving privacy 2%, the ease of speaking in one's own language 12%, avoid misunderstanding 5%, lack of English words 19%, bridging the gaps while speaking 7%, showing intimacy 6%, adding emphasis 4%, drawing attentions 10%, and pragmatic reasons 9%. My personal opinion on this study is that it is a good approach on finding out the reasons that led to code switching and figuring out ways to solve the problem in the future to make it more simple for the foreign students to communicate. As a result, the code switching is increasingly seen among bilingual foreign students. The inability to communicate in a foreign cultural environment, assimilating new cuisines, and encountering strange cultural practices were thought to be the factors in code switching. The students' inability to explain their ideas clearly in a language classes is another element contributing to code switching. Code switching helps maintaining the uninterruptedness of speech and does not obstruct the flow of expression. A student who is not fluent in the target language could find it difficult to accurately convey the intended idea. Code flipping can therefore be seen as a practical and supportive element that helps with information sharing during social encounters. And that is all about factors of code switching that happens to foreign students who studied in Malaysia.